Is anyone out there? Is anyone around? Invite some people. Is anyone out there? Oh! Why am I hearing myself? Oh, that's why. Oh, one thing I did wrong. Hang on a second, guys. While everything picks up. Invite some people. Hang on a second, guys. There we go. Alright. So what's up? I think that should work. Got a couple people in here. We have OJ and Michael, Cleveland. We have Santa Cruz. We have Scott. We have some silent people. Can you guys hear me okay? A little different than last time, I think. Got Benji from Northern New York. Very cool. Let me know on the hearing part. Let me know on the hearing part. Figure we'll do like 30 minutes of just chatting. Maybe. I don't know. Depends on, how crazy we get. I'm in Oklahoma. So you guys know I'm Detroit. Or maybe you know. Sound is good. Good. I'm using like an actual professional microphone. The last time I did this, the webcam was still picking up the sound and it sounded like garbage. So maybe this is a little better. A little bit of an echo. It might have been earlier in the video. I think now it should fix itself. Hopefully. A little echo over there too. Man, what the hell is the echo? It's gotta be the webcam. It's gotta be the webcam. That's like picking crap up afterwards. Try something. Let me disable. It says there's only one mic. We'll see. See if it gets any better. Alright, so I just got bored. I was just shooting the video for tomorrow. Which I guess I'll just tell you. If you guys are here, you care enough to know. So tomorrow will be Elijah Craig Batch C. and that's what I'm drinking the rest of from the video right here. So a couple of you guys had asked to see that review. And so Elijah Craig Batch C tomorrow. It is. And then we'll probably be doing the Jefferson's Presidential, which is over there somewhere. We'll probably be doing that on President's Day. Although we used to have that off for work, and we do not get that off for work anymore. Say hi to you guys in the chat. It's funny, last time I did a video, it was on the first time I did a live stream rather, it was on a random day like this. I didn't announce it, and we had 150 people. And then the second time I did it, I announced it a week before and a day before. I did it on a Sunday, which I thought was a better day, and we had 50 people. And not that it really matters either way, but I just want you guys to be able to kind of chat with each other. Someone's drinking B, batch B. Cool. You reviewed batch C 2 weeks ago. Yeah, you'll see tomorrow. I'm never disappointed with Elijah Craig Barrel Proof products. You guys have probably learned that about me and Elijah Craig at this point. So if that's a telltale sign of tomorrow's review, then that's a telltale sign. So anyways, what's up? What's up with you guys in the bourbon world? How is bourbon hunting going now? Are you guys as frustrated as the rest of everyone else out there? Is it just awful by you guys too? You're thinking, sorry, chair. You're thinking at this point you might just switch to scotch. Because I bought 5 bottles of scotch last week, I think, for that exact reason. It's been a little frustrating around here. I have to fight to get I got a bottle of Magnus you guys might have seen on the video. Hard to find rare whiskeys in Ohio. I've heard it, man. I feel for you. I've driven through, never bothered to stop. State-run alcohol, right? Isn't that the thing about Ohio? State-controlled, state-run, whatever it is, state-owned. Yes, the bourbon supply is running dry. This is a big problem. Pretty much everything good will be no age statement in 2 or 3 years unless the economy crashes or unless another fad picks up. I'm hoping the rum fad picks up, but rum's not made here, so a lot of it's not made here. So I don't know. I think we're kind of stuck with bourbon. I think it's popular because it's made here. Pikesville is outstanding. You can find that easily. Yeah, St. Louis. Yeah, you guys had a bunch of good stuff in St. Louis for a while. And then lately I've been hearing that it's not a great area to get bourbon. I have a couple friends that have a company that they run outside of St. Louis, and they couldn't find any Kentucky Owl, which was tough because I thought it was supposed to be easy to get there. I did hear, so I actually did get some Smooth Ambler, these 11 and 12-year-olds. Yeah, Northern New York, I've heard that too. I have gotten a couple of the Smooth Ambler 11s. I got 11 and 12 recently. So I don't know what that was. Maybe they batched it out again. I didn't check the bottle dates. I probably should check the bottle dates, but I just got a couple, and I believe they were 17 bottle dates. So I don't know what happened. Someone's holding on to them. They did a new release. They had some held back. But I haven't tried one yet, ever. I've never tried a Smooth Ambler. Anything. I have a ton. They're right. You can't see it, but they're right here behind that Eagle Rare bottle. And I have a 12, an 11, a 7, a 107, and then all the low end stuff, the Contradiction and all the low end stuff they still make. He scored a Plantons and nearly did cartwheels. I have one. I think it's still in my truck, or I threw it in my garage. I have one Blanton's bottle. I have a couple, but I just recently got one. And yeah, you know what? I used to walk into, we have Meyer around here. You guys might where you are. Meyer, It's like the local version of like a Walmart. And we have Walmarts around here too, but they don't have your liquor. I used to be able to walk into Meijer as little as a year and a half ago, and it would just be a line of Blanton's products and Eagle Rare 10s and stuff like that. Now I can find Eagle Rare 10 no problem, but Blanton's is a little bit tougher to find. But luckily, if you go to Kentucky, Blanton, not just Kentucky, but a lot of like southern states, Blanton's is very easy to find. So don't be too tough on yourself about that one. I did hear that Buffalo Trace is getting allocated some places. The good part about that is, while I love a lot of Buffalo Trace stuff, well, maybe the 1.75 is allocated, but anyways, I love the Buffalo Trace, just regular old Buffalo Trace. They have so many, and the Buffalo Trace normal is just, it's good. But you could probably find those barrel picks everywhere, the store picks. If your guys' areas do store picks, and those are just, it's like triple the bottle, and still for the same price, so look out for those store picks. Weller Antique in Ohio, someone was asking about that. Yeah, good luck with that. Can't find them in Michigan. Supposedly the Weller Antique line is supposed to have some more store picks this year. 107. A lot more store picks. So that'll be interesting to see if that actually happens. Yeah, bullet barrel proof just hit our area. So never seen it out in the wild before. I'm not that excited about it. Not that that's not a good find. It's probably going to be just fine, but a bullet is, to hold it, like I'm drinking a lot of Craig barrel proof, to hold it against something like this, I'd love if it was better, but I'm not going to screw out of that. They allocated the $10 bottle of Benchmark. Yeah, I heard that too. Don't care. I'm drinking Benchmark. Last time I drank Benchmark was at like a campfire, and we passed the bottle around. And I reviewed it on the channel. It's not bad, but shit, you can make your own bourbon. Probably just as good. Oklahoma City. Never heard much about there. Someone was drinking some Pikesville. That's cool. 8 bourbon blind tests last week, and apparently I really like single barrel. So, you know what? Here's a cool story. I got my first bottle of M10. You can probably see it. So the camera's kind of set where it's focused on me, and the background's not going to be clear, but that is this here. Yep, this guy is a bottle of M10. And that's my first bottle of 17. But a guy in our local group posted a tasting or a vertical of them, samples, 2-ounce samples of 12 to 17. So the 12 and the 13 are what everyone's supposed to like. They're supposed to be Stitzel, amazing, just good stuff. And so I did them blind, and I actually like the 15 over the 13 and the 12. So it went like 15, I don't remember exactly. It was like 15, 13 were the ratings, like 15 and 13. So the cool part, and I hated the 17, which is what I have about. The cool part is you can still probably find some 15s or trade for some 15s. And maybe it was just me, but I loved the 15. I thought it was fantastic. And a lot of bourbons had fantastic years in 2015, or releases. And obviously, when they were put in the barrel matters, but I just think, maybe that was when they were getting a little, bourbon was starting to pick up, but it was still not as crazy as what it is right now. Like, the Stag from 15 is supposed to be one of the best Stags that was ever made. So, there's a couple other ones too. So that was interesting. Toasted. Someone's doing Michter's Toasted. Okay. Cool. The toasted bourbon or the toasted rye? Or is there something crazy I don't know about? Other than that, just hanging with you guys for a little bit. So, my point of that story, that blind story, I was going to do it on Livestream, but the person that did it with me wasn't really a very close friend, family member even, and they love the channel. They're probably on here right now, but wasn't interested in doing it on stream, which I wasn't going to have it. I was going to maybe do it here and they do it over there, but it took a little while to do anyways. And we went back and forth like on how we were going to do it and everything. So it was cool though. That I've seen a lot more of this on our local groups and with friends. These blind tastings. I would absolutely. Sorry, I'm looking one thing up here. I would absolutely recommend that you guys do some cool blind tastings. You'll be really surprised, and it'll make you rethink how you feel. Hang on. I'm trying to get some more people in here. It'll make you rethink how you feel about what you think is the best bourbon or the best whiskey. Okay. All right. Back. Hang on one second. Okay. It does remove the power of suggestion. The only Michter's rye I've tried is the barrel proof, and I love it. I haven't tried the regular rye, the 10-year, so I love it. So I don't know. Other than that, what do you guys want to talk about? I'm a little late. What are you drinking? Elijah Craig Barrel Proof Batch C. It is the review for tomorrow's video. I shot the video just a minute ago. It's getting late. I don't feel like sitting there and waiting for it to upload and editing out. I don't do a lot of editing, as you guys know, but like the beginning of the video, like me walking up to the camera and then me turning off the camera at the end, I usually try to take that out when I can. So problem with YouTube is like after you upload it, it takes a while for it to process. So when you cut things off the beginning and the end, and then you have to sit there and wait to actually publish it. So sometimes the processing can take like an hour or two before you can actually upload it. So I'm going to be probably shooting most of my Wednesday videos on Tuesdays or my weekend videos like on Fridays and then publishing on Saturdays because of that reason. Is the echo better now? Maybe just a tiny bit. I'm watching like the mic level here, and I think when it goes into the red, it might echo a little bit. But let me know if the echo is bad. I haven't figured out this live stream thing 100% yet. There's a lot of people that are a lot better at it than I am. For sure. What's beer like around you guys? We haven't talked about that much. What's beer like for you guys? Is there a lot of good breweries around, or are there crappy ones? Or do you get stuff from out of state? Michigan. I think we're really good, actually. We have Founders, which is a little bit nationally known. We have Shorts, which I don't know if there is nationally known. Bells, which is like Hop Slam, if you guys have heard of that. So I don't know. Cleveland is a brewery mecca. Awesome. Good to know. Good to know. Have you ever been embarrassed by what you chose in a blind tasting because it happened to me? Man, no. It's like trying to say you're wrong for liking tits instead of ass. It's a really bad analogy, but it's your opinion. You shouldn't feel bad for liking something because your palate's different than everyone else's palate. Like in our group, I was getting razzed a little bit because I didn't pick the 12 and 13 M10s over the 15. Don't care. In fact, it's actually great news for me because I can, like I said before, I can buy a bottle of 15 for like, I don't know, secondary price would be like $150. Whereas buying a bottle of 12 or 13 would be like $700, $600 to $700. So, no, man, don't at all. Like, if you ever get Pappy, do like Pappy 15, Pappy 23, Pappy 10, and then put like Weller and Weller 107, like Weller 12 and Weller 107, weeded. And it's like the reject juice of Pappy. And I bet you pick a Weller 12 over one of the ones that you think that you would have picked a Pappy over. I've done that. I've done Weller 12 versus Pappy 15 versus 23. I think it went 15. Weller 12, and then Pappy 23. Pappy 15's fantastic and amazing, and it's really good. But like Weller 12, although it misses a little more on the finish, but Weller 12 is still really good. Southern California, good breweries, yeah. So like Stone, is that SoCal or Stone Northern California? Stone has a really cool beer. I would love to do like a beer channel, but there's 8 million beers. But Stone has a newerish beer called like a fruity IPA. And I'm not usually an IPA guy, I'm more of a stout guy, but it was fantastic. I can't remember what it's called now. Anti-Hero? No. I don't remember. Shit, it's pretty bad. But it's an IPA passion. I don't remember. It's an IPA. It's got like a tiny bit of fruit in it. They have one called like Ripper that's pretty good, but then they had another one that it's orange can. I can't think of it now, but it was fantastic. Stone is one of my any Stone beer that I've drank is top notch for me, which is a lot to say when you live an hour from Founders. Too many breweries opening up doesn't seem sustainable. Listen, so here's my point about this, about with the craft brewery blow up. There are a lot that aren't good or a lot that are just average, but then there's a lot that are really, really good, even the small ones. So here's my point with this. I don't think we'll ever get there with whiskey because it takes so long to make, but everyone's going like barrel aged now, so it does take some time to make beers. Whiskey needs to get to that point where they're opening new distilleries. So I talked about this in my Kentucky Owl Rye video about the fact that there's still the ability for new products to enter the market and dazzle us, because I probably am wrong compared to what you guys think, but Kentucky Owl Rye is one of my top 5 ryes. It blew me away, and it's a new product. And yeah, they source barrels and then they're batching them. But still, the fact that could come onto the market and explode into something fantastic, and regular Kentucky Owl too, although that's been around for a little while now, the fact that can happen just shows you that we do need. And now they're opening what had Stoli put like a $250 million, or was that $150 million or $200 million investment into an entire new park, basically, for them to come out with more Kentucky Owl and do whatever the hell they're going to do down there. So that needs to happen with whiskey. I think it's hard to get it on the local level because there's so many things that matter, like oak sourcing and the water you're using, the grains that you're using. I mean, there's so much that comes into it that would take 30 years before you could perfect something. But at the same time, all it needs is like a couple people that sort of know what they're doing, or a couple people that are like low on the radar of distillers, but someone takes a chance on them and it can blow up. And that's what we need to happen to fix this supply. Stone Woot Stout is solid. I've had it. It's very good. Pecan, right? In that one? Do you see a time when the glass ends up being a passing fad? No, those glasses are legitimately the best thing-ish to taste whiskey. I like this glass because you can't heat up the bottom by holding it, because it's, I mean, I guess you could, maybe a little heat transfer, but I like this glass because you still get a great nose on it. It's still easy to move it around. It doesn't curve in as much, so you lose a little tiny bit on the nosing. You just gotta stick your nose in further, but I like being able to hold it, and I like this part of it. So no, I don't see that there would be. There's no need for that to go away. There's no harm. That's the first best way to taste whiskey. The Canadian whiskey glasses, I don't have any out. Those are pretty cool too. They're bigger, but they're like handheld versions of that without the stem. Those are pretty cool too. So, but I do like this. I can't remember what this one is called. It starts with a C, if I remember correctly. And I do like this, mainly because you can like hold it like 10 different ways, and it's really easy to put air into it. So I really do like this glass. These are expensive though. The Canadian ones are great. These are expensive. These are, I think I paid $10 or $15 for one of these. $10 maybe. So I prefer a red Solo cup. Mm-hmm. I would say you probably aren't following the channel and joining my live stream videos if you prefer the red Solo cup as your whiskey glass. It's fine though. Like, I went to a store the other day that I know the owners very well, and they were doing a sample, and they were sampling a Knob Creek single barrel. They gave it to me in little plastic shot glasses, and you could still taste it just fine. The difference is you just don't want to let it sit there for a long time, or you don't want to you can't really get as good of a nose out of plastic. So yeah, it's a classic rocks glass. Makes me feel special. You know what? Like sometimes just using like a regular old, I've got a couple over here, you can't really see them in the video, but just using a regular old glass to drink whiskey, like sometimes makes you just feel like an alcoholic, right? Because it just feels like you're just drinking this whole thing of whiskey. But B also, that's like, you watch it in the movies, and that's kind of like the Hollywood way to drink whiskey. Because you don't see, Hollywood movies where they're doing this. It's usually like just a guy, super ripped with this big glass of whiskey with a cup with way too many ice cubes in it normally, and he's tossing it back. So, it's kind of the Hollywood way to drink whiskey, I would have to say. But I'm fine with it. Like when I go up north in Michigan, we have a lot of cool places that are in the northern part of the state. And when I go up north, like, they don't have glasses like this. You just sit down, big glass of something neat. Usually, the funny part is too, you know when you're not at a whiskey bar or a place that really sells a lot of whiskey, because you ask for I went to a place that all they had was Woodford and like true like bottom shelf whiskey. So I got a glass of Woodford, and here's my glass of water. They filled the whiskey like up to like this level. Like they gave me like 8 shots of whiskey. I'm like, what am I gonna do with 8 shots of whiskey in one giant glass? But I mean, I drank it obviously, but my wife was mad that we went to dinner and I got slammed. I feel like John Wick when I drink Blanton's out of a rocks glass. Haven't seen the movie. I have maybe 2 of them, right? I think I bought them and never watched them on Google Play or whatever. I just got back into Walking Dead after swearing I would never watch it again. So I just got back into Walking Dead. And that was a dumb idea because literally fucking nothing has happened in the last season and a half that I just watched. I stopped. I won't spoil anything, but I stopped the first episode of season 7 because something major happened and they cliffhangered the whole frickin' thing. They cliffhangered the whole scene for the whole time off. And I was like, I'm done. because they were cliffhangering every single mid-season and end season. It's just annoying. So waited, a year and a half, and now I'm back into it. And nothing has happened since the last one. Like, one thing has happened. I don't know. I just got off the Walking Dead tangent. Because I thought we were talking about movies, John Wick and stuff. I don't know. It's fun to talk about movies sometimes. Like, I think I'm caught up on everything on Netflix that I really wanted to watch. Like, all the superhero ones I've watched now, half of them suck, but all of those, Punisher, all those good ones. Like, I watched all those. Season 7 is not amazing. That's one I didn't like. Season 8 is a little better. I think. John Wick's the opposite. Yeah. Walking Dead is kind of, you go into it expecting that they're trying to do some artsy stuff and cool camera angles and, a lot of psyche of the characters. Yeah, that's, like I said, Zoe. I believe that's how I say her name. Except I've never actually met anyone with the name Zoe or Zoe. I hate that about Walking Dead. That's why I started watching it. It was nothing. It's not that it's nothing. Like, some of those episodes are really, really good. There's some fantastic acting in them. But the problem is they do that every time. Like, 4 episodes in a row, they do character development. And it's just funny. I mean, what's his face? Jeffrey Dean Morgan is awesome in the series. And so it has gotten a little better with a real villain. My worry is, and I haven't watched all, so I don't spoil anything, but my worry is they're going to end that too soon. Like, they put, 2 or 3 seasons into the governor dude, and he was, barely in the novels. And, Negan is, one of the most crucial villains. So I hope that... I don't hope that they continue to drag on, but I also hope they don't just rush over it into something else. I don't know. I think the show's probably got a few seasons left. I think we're nearing the end of it being a popular show. Audio suddenly has echo. So, I think I figured it out. When I talk a little bit too loud, so I can see the bars here, when it goes into the red, I think you guys get echo. So I'll try to not get excited. I'm surprised how well this microphone is picking up me talking, because it's this tiny little microphone that's at the top of the camera. It's the one I use to shoot my whiskey video. So I don't know. If I get it too quiet, let me know. Does your wife enjoy whiskey too? No. I think I could probably have gotten her into it if I didn't spend a college education on my collection. But she sort of likes wine. She's really not a drinker. I'm not really either. I mean, I am, but if you get me out with friends from college and really close friends, yeah, I'll drink. But during the week, I'll do this maybe once, twice a week, and it's usually a glass. So we try to be careful on that, especially with this. It can get, and with the collection of everything, it can get out of hand really fast. So I try to make sure I'm always putting myself in check with, how much. And that's really important for you guys too. I mentioned this on the stream, or the channel a couple times before. It's really important for you guys to keep an eye on. If you ever find yourself not being able to put down a bottle, really rethink about, or talk to someone about, alcohol and drinking, because it's a serious thing. Or if you ever find yourself where you're driving and it's because you've been drinking at times that you probably shouldn't be drinking, during the day, early in the morning, way too late into the night, then really, put yourself in check or talk to someone. I've never had that issue, but I am normally pretty good at self-control. My issue is the collection. Most of my bottles aren't open. And it's not because I won't drink them. It's because I'm worried that like one day they'll be gone forever. It's probably the same reason I have like an oh shit bag. Like if the Russians came tomorrow, took over the country, I can grab my bag and go. Like I have these weird things, and whiskey's one of them. Like when I buy a bottle now that I really like this batch C or the batch B, I'm literally scrambling to find a couple more bottles because I'm worried I'll never be able to find them again. And I have 400 bottles, probably 300 bottles to drink of other things that I've never opened before. So I'm trying to limit myself to buying only one bottle of something. How do you budget for whiskey? The majority of your fun money spent on the hobby. I don't go out, really. I have 2 kids. You guys probably noticed I have an infant. I have a 3-year-old. So for me to like go out, I have to like beg or, be the best husband in the world for like a month to get one night out. So my costs on things are pretty low. My costs are bourbon, like tech stuff, so like computers, phones, stuff like that. Those are mainly my costs. So yeah, that's where my fun money goes. So that's easy for me. If you go out a lot, I think it's a lot harder to do like any hobby. And I think it's good if you go out a lot. I think you should keep a good social life, but it's just hard to do that with kids. Most of the people that I hang around on a regular basis now are people that, are also collectors or that I've just known for a long time. And they're okay with just, kind of coming over and keeping costs low. But I remember when I was younger, before I met my wife, I'd go out every weekend and, dinner somewhere and drink somewhere and breakfast the next day or brunch or whatever. And every weekend was $500. Now I can buy 1-2 bottles for $50-$60 a piece and spend a lot less money every weekend. Is the Wild Turkey Diamond Anniversary worth the investment? So I have the decades. I just did the review. I have the 17, the 2 Master's Keep. I would first go for the Wild Turkey Decades. It's incredible. It's very, very good. Then after that, I would probably get the 17, the Master's Keep 17, just so you've got the 2 cool gray and black boxes next to each other. They're kind of like a line, And then after that, I would go to the Diamond Anniversary because I think a lot of people like it, but I think that people agree that Decades is one of Wild Turkey's best, most recent whiskeys. Nope, I don't gas my bottles. Just something about that. Maybe I'm not scienced up enough, but something about putting gas onto whiskey just bothers me. Are you a firearm guy? Yes. Yep. Seems like a lot of people that are into bourbon are into common things, and firearms seems to be, across the board of groups that I'm in, seems to be one of the more popular ones. That people that like bourbon also own firearms. I am, but I'm not the kind of person that has 1,000 of them or would die for gun rights. There's definitely gun problems in the United States, and whether that's more mental and pressure problems or more gun problems, like a lot of them, society and pressure problems, anxiety problems, stress problems that we have by living here in the country that is founded upon hard work. So you basically have to always be working to be successful. And that's fine. It's the reason that you can make it in the United States. But I think that puts a lot of pressure on people, whether that turns into just gun violence, gun problems, mass murders. I don't know. I think that a lot of killings have to do with stress, though. And I think we live in a very stressful country. So, but I would never move. I love it here. All right, we're at 39 minutes. 39 minutes. I haven't had a George Dickel Barrel Select. Haven't had one. Last time I had Dickel was when I first started drinking whiskey. I don't mind it at all. I like it. It's good stuff. I haven't had it. So let's do this. The 18 of you that are watching right now get to pick the next fun video. So we'll go off of, we won't even ask the general audience because they weren't here, so fuck them. No, I'm kidding. Can't expect everyone to always tune in. But because you guys are here and that's really awesome, let's do, you guys pick the next fun video. So these were my ideas. My ideas were what to drink instead of Pappy, the intermediate video that I've been talking about for way too long, and I'll probably be doing this near the end of February, just so you know, because I'm doing the President's Day one, and I'll probably do it the week after. So the what to drink instead of Pappy, the intermediate video, or a blind tasting of something I don't know yet, or a blind tasting video. So what do you guys think about those three? Randy, good to hear. You shouldn't, if you're new to it, you really shouldn't have a go-to yet. Keep buying different things to figure out what your go-to is. And then you'll find your go-to. And you will absolutely find your go-to. Most people's go-tos, it seems like nowadays, are Eagle Rare. And Blanton's, if you can find it, are still pretty big go-tos, but okay, so intermediate video is one vote. So real quick, guys, we're voting on the next video, the next fun video, not a review video. So intermediate whiskeys, the blind tasting of whatever, I haven't figured out yet, maybe Pappy, blind tasting, or I can't remember the other one that I suggest. What to drink instead of Pappy. So it's kind of a split between blind and intermediate. So what to taste instead of Pappy, maybe I'll just do like a 4-second Twitter post about that or something. Because a lot of people have been asking me like what I drink instead of Pappy, and I think maybe a lot of you guys that are a little more into this have probably figured out you're really probably not going to find any, so you should just nut up and find something else. So far, I think blind tasting has it. I'll tally them up afterwards. But we're voting intermediate. Intermediate it is. All right. Now we're back to even. I think we've got one intermediate. 1, 2, 3. You guys can't say both. 4, 5, 6. We had 6 for intermediate and 1, 2, 3, 4. We had 4 for blind. A weeded flight. You might as well just do Pappy at that point. Because all the good weededs are Pappy and Waller. And Willet. Which, yeah, that's too expensive. And hard to find. Make a straw poll? No. Only because it takes time and you guys are right here. And I can do it without having to type anything. So I think we're pretty determined. We're pretty set on the intermediate. Will Woodford Reserve Double Oak be in the intermediate? Probably not. For me, because of the price, that's more of like a $60. So for me, an intermediate would be about $100. Although a lot of the good bourbons aren't much more than that, but probably be about like $100 or something that you cannot find on a regular basis, but you can find if you look. An advanced for me would be things like, if I do my advanced video, it's probably going to be things that I probably might not even have. I might have to just talk about them. Or that I have that are just things that I got lucky on finding or traded for. So I think intermediate's going to be, I won't ruin the surprise, but I already have a couple of the bottles in mind. There's been one that I've really wanted to get to put on that video, because for the intermediate one, I can still afford or have available the bottles to actually taste them all on the video. So for me, I think the intermediate would be, like stuff you can find easily on secondary, or you can find if you really look for it, and is a little bit more than Probably $60. Rebel Yell 10 on intermediate. Maybe. Once again, $60. And you can still find it pretty easily. Maybe not in every single shelf, but would love to see your review opinion on Rebel Yell 10 here. I have it. Put it in my what's to come video for this year. I will absolutely. I haven't tried Woodford Reserve Cherrywood Smoked Barley. I've seen a bunch of it, though. I don't think you should have a problem finding that because I don't think people love that. I think people like it more than a couple of the other ones, but I didn't buy it. Excuse me. I mean, because the last three I bought I didn't really love, but I didn't buy it. There's just so much good stuff out there. Yeah, Four Roses 50th. That'll be on my advanced video. And I don't know if I'll be able to get a bottle of that. And I've never seen one in Michigan, never even heard of anyone buying one in Michigan. I believe you have to buy them secondary. I think they're like $600 right now. But maybe I can get some samples. Maybe that's what I'll do for the advanced. I'll do samples. That might be pretty cool. I could probably ask for some help from local people for that. I'd love to say it's intermediate, but for the advanced one, like, there's a difference between advanced and unicorn. Like, unicorn is going to be like, certain years of Pappy 23, or even just Pappy 23, and like Black Maple Hill, like things that you can't get anymore, or that you absolutely have to get on, secondary, or you have to trade a collector for. Weller 12, I would say, is not a bad intermediate. Price not being considered, it's more of an intermediate. But the difference there is that it's a beginner. Like, everyone likes it, which isn't necessarily that bad, but it's a really good bourbon. But you can't find it. So yeah, that's actually a pretty good point. Like, that might be something that makes the list. Like, for me, like an intermediate, and maybe I'll put it in the video, and maybe I won't. But for me, like a good intermediate whiskey would be like, honestly, like 4-grain. And I know it's hard to find now, but it wasn't, and you can still find it now. Like 4-grain, and supposedly they're doing a big release of 4-grain this year, like a really big batch of 4-grain. The rumor I've been hearing, but maybe like 4-grain, or depends on how we want to get with it. Whether I do bourbon or maybe mix in some rye if I do whiskey. I think I'm gonna stick with bourbon because my last one was bourbon. So I would say 4-grain probably would be one that would be in there. Yep, I've heard of Whistle Pig. Really like Whistle Pig. The 10, the regular one. The 12-year I don't like. 15-year I don't remember liking more than the 10-year, so I stick with the 10-year. Alright, guys. Alright, I'm 18 minutes over. You guys have been 18 people strong pretty much the whole time, which is really cool. I'm glad you guys joined me. Video goes up tomorrow. Tomorrow will be the review of Batch C of Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. In case you're out shopping tomorrow and you don't want to wait for my video to figure out if you should buy it, you should buy it. You should buy pretty much any Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. Fine. So tomorrow the video will come out. Next live stream will be, I don't know, maybe we'll make it a little more of a thing where after I shoot a video, if I've got some extra time and work's not too bad, then I will come hang out with you guys after I shoot a video. Or maybe we'll schedule another collaboration with another channel. That could be cool too. Maybe we can get one of the big ones to let us jump in there with them. So anyways, yeah, thanks for joining me. Sorry that this isn't the most perfect thing in the world. I know there was a little echo. Camera's not the best. But yeah, thank you guys for joining me. Enjoy what you have in your hands if you are or you're joining me in a drink. Be safe. Don't drink and drive. And tune in tomorrow on the channel for the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof FC review. And shoot me a message on YouTube or wherever, Facebook, if you have any suggestions or if you want to see something else. So yeah, I'm gonna tune it out here, guys. Really nice meeting a couple of you, talking to a couple of you, and we'll do this again soon. Later.